Hey, in this lesson, I want to show you 4 super easy guitar riffs that you can play on your acoustic guitar, even if you're just getting started out and even if you don't know chords. So let's hop into these riffs. My name is Will Ripley and you're tuning in to Campfire Guitar Star. All right, so you're probably wondering, what are these 4 famous songs and how and why are they easy to play on the acoustic guitar? Well, check it out. What we're gonna dig into today is everything from Bob Marley to Nirvana. I knew I had to wear my Nirvana shirt today. So we're gonna cover Nirvana's Come As You Are. We're gonna cover Bob Marley's Redemption song, specifically the intro. Okay, we're gonna cover Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes. And also, if we have time, I want to break into an easy beginner version of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Now, the very first one that I want to hop into is Nirvana's Come As You Are. And this is a great acoustic guitar song, especially if you've listened to the MTV Unplugged album, which was super, super famous. And this is definitely one of those tunes that you still hear on the radio of this specific version. So it sounds like this. And make sure to grab that PDF download. You'll find that in the description and the comments below. That will have all the tabs for today's lesson, and it's certainly going to be so much easier and just a great resource for you to have. Not only this video, and we'll go step by step through these songs, but also just to have the frets and exactly how to play each of these riffs right in front of you. So make sure to grab that PDF, okay? So, assuming that you have that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our first 2 fingers, our peace symbol fingers here, and just climbing up on the 1st and 2nd fret. So that's just coincidence. We're talking 1st and 2nd finger and the 1st and 2nd fret. But we start out with a couple of open strings, 0, 0, 1, 2. Okay? And what's cool about that is just hit that 2nd fret note and let that ring. And then with your right hand, you can hit the A string with an upstroke and just alternate back and forth between those 2 strings for a second and get them ringing together, okay? And it has this kind of dissonant, grungy type of sound. So, okay, so just get that going on. So that very first intro, we climb up to do this little walk up, 0, 0, 1, 2, open. Okay, hit that guy twice again. Climb back down, okay? Down to 0, so 2, 2, 1, 0. So after this walk down, we're going to do a really similar technique, but this time we're going to put our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and we're going to go alternating back and forth between those 2 bottom strings with an upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke. Okay, so just get that kind of sound going on for yourself. Okay, and that's going to reset the riff, okay? And why don't we just go ahead and play this together nice and slow. Grab that tab, maybe pause the video, maybe rewind, work on these little bits here, right now, okay? But I'm going to hop into the riff nice and slow, and then we'll hop into this whole other batch of awesome, easy acoustic guitar riffs, all right? Ready? Go! So, couple of quick tips on that one. What you'll notice is with all of these riffs, you're going to want to get that right hand planted some way, somehow on the guitar. So if you're finding that it's really hard to hit the right strings at the right time, or maybe you're hitting air or hitting the wrong strings, well, that's probably because you're trying to float your hand. Okay? And what you want to do is actually get your right hand planted on the guitar somehow, some way. Usually I suggest to our students to use the heel of your hand, okay, and place it on the acoustic guitar right on this bridge, okay? And there's actually a little slope on many bridges right on this section, and the heel of your hand will just sit there so nicely, okay? And what that does is just allows you so much more accuracy for these single note riffs. Okay, with chords, of course you can see my hand is floating, right? And then, but check it out, anytime that you're playing scales riffs, solos, things like that, then you're going to want to get that hand planted. So for instance, you might see a combination of the two. Okay, so you can see there when I hit the single notes, my right hand is getting planted, and then when I'm hitting the chords, my right hand is floating. So really, you want to get both of those down, okay? So just a quick tip on that. All right, the next tune that I want to hop into is the intro to the very famous Redemption song by Bob Marley. So here's what it sounds like. We'll grab the tabs. We'll break it down here in a second. Okay, so that's really it. He plays it a few times, and then of course he goes into chord strumming, and that's a great chord strumming song to learn. But of course, in today's lesson, we're not going into chord strumming. We're just talking about these easy acoustic guitar riffs. But check it out. What I would suggest is start with your second finger on this third fret, because what that's going to allow you to do is when you activate the second fret notes, your first finger is just sitting right there ready to go. Okay? So we hit this guy. We're going to climb up. So we got some open strings. We're going all the way on the low E string, A string, and the D string. Okay? And why don't I just go ahead and assume that you have that PDF that you can read tab, and I'm going to go ahead and play this riff nice and slow, all right? So here we go. Ready? Go. One more time, and I'll teach you how to do that chord right there. All right, so let's talk about this chord that I'm playing here. Now, as you can see, it's a one-finger chord. Okay, I'm using my second finger. Okay, but it's a totally legitimate G chord, 100%. Okay, so check it out. As you can see, my second finger's on the third fret of the low E string, but it's actually muting and covering the A string. And then I'm really just focusing on the open D, G, and B strings. Okay. So, and it doesn't matter too much if you hit that high E, but you want to like try to avoid it. So just those 1, 2, 3, 4 strings are really ringing open. And like I said, 110%, that is an absolute and total G major chord. Okay? So, as you can hear, when you play the riff, a nice way to end it, and anytime that you see a G chord in a song, you can absolutely go to this one. Okay, one finger chord. Okay, so there's a huge guitar hack for you. All right, so the next tune I want to hop into is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd, one of the most famous acoustic guitar songs ever. However, I'm going to teach you kind of a beginner cheater version, but I'm sure that you'll agree that it sounds a heck of a lot like the original version. So it sounds something like this. Okay, so as you can see, I'm finishing off on that Redemption song chord that we were doing in the Bob Marley song just a second ago. Okay, so that G chord. Okay, and now check this out. We can also play an E minor chord, okay, by putting our first finger on the second fret of the D string. Okay, that's 100% and totally an E minor chord. So actually switching back and forth between those two chords sounds quite musical. Okay, and so what we can do from here is we actually can use some of the similar notes that we found in a Redemption song. And what we're going to find are these guys. Okay, so we're starting on that third fret of the low E, open A string, second fret, open D string, second fret. Okay, and then you can strum that chord, okay, just by keeping that finger pressed down. So again. Okay, coming back down, even easier riff. Start here, right where your finger was left off. Okay, so that's all. So again, that second fret of the D string, open G string. Okay, so you don't even really need to lift that guy off. Just a little tip. Until right there, okay? Bring your second finger back to the low E string to play that cheater G chord, okay? And the only other technique that I'm leaving out here is this hammer-on. So now what you want to do is just try this for yourself. So this hammer-on is a flashier, kind of more advanced guitar technique, but it sure makes it sound a lot more like Wish You Were Here when you do it. So if you hit the open A string open, so now I just hit that string once. So what I'm gonna do is smack my first finger down into the second fret of that A string as hard and as fast as possible to make it sound just as loud as a picked note, but only by picking the note once. Okay, so there it is, right? So one pick, but I'm slamming that finger so hard and so fast into the second fret that allows two notes to play by just hitting the string once, okay? And that's called a hammer-on, okay? And that technique, instead of picking each of those individual notes, like I showed you a minute ago, I'm sure that you'd agree that if you go like this, okay, just that one hammer-on that A string into that second fret, that's gonna line it up and just make it sound a little more legit. All right, so why don't we try cracking into this together, and then we'll move on to one more tune, and here we go. So, pretty cool how we can kind of hack our way to that song, and it's a huge guitar hack, a huge life hack. Okay, now the fourth song that we're going to talk about is Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes. Now maybe you don't know the song by me saying it out loud, but I'm sure you'd recognize it when I play it. Check it out. Okay, so super cool. One of those riffs, man, that just opens up a really famous song. And it's actually in the same key and uses a lot of the same notes that we covered in the Redemption Song intro by Bob Marley and the Wish You Were Here notes that we just covered in the Pink Floyd song. So it's kind of cool that way. And so just check this out. So again, second finger, third fret, low E string. And then we're going to move up to the second fret and the third fret. And just even if you just start playing those three notes, you'll already start getting an idea of the riff. Okay, this one's a little bit complex in the sense because it's fast and there's there are quite a few. There's just three notes, but they're condensed together and they're played in this particular order over and over. And the tab is going to be really helpful for you on this one, so make sure to grab that. Okay, but check it out. So if we climb up, okay, but then go back to that low E string, our first note, and then here's really the technique that you got to get for this one, is this finger roll. Okay, so this low E string, I'm hitting and fretting that note right on the tip of my finger, right? Now, if I roll that finger down, I can actually fret the A string kind of more in the middle of the pad of my finger, okay? So just try that for yourself. See if you can kind of roll between those two notes, okay? And that's really the technique that you got to get going on for this one, okay? So if we play it nice and slow, sounds something like this. If you want to do that little, you can really easily just have your fingers laying over the frets so that the strings are dead, and then just a couple whacks. Down, up, down. Okay? So again, maybe a little faster, and maybe you want to pause the video and just roll it back to where I was just playing it nice and slow there. I encourage that. All right, so here we go. Do, da, da, da. Ready, go. All right, so those are the 4 songs I had planned for you. We went over Come As You Are by Nirvana, then we talked about Redemption Song by Bob Marley, and then we went into Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, especially my cheater version with those cheater chords, but still sounded a heck of a lot like it. I hope you agree. And then Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes. So all 4 of these songs, I'm sure that you would agree, are at least attainable, okay? Yes, you will have to practice them. Yes, you should download those tabs. You should rewatch this video and rewind and repeat, you know, but hopefully you could see, and do let me know in the comments, how did you make out with this lesson, okay? And which one was the easiest? Which one was the hardest? Which one did you maybe instantly get? Or which one is the most inspiring for you to play? I'm curious to know. And also just let me know how you're making out with your guitar progress, maybe what kind of guitar you have, where you are in the world, okay? And if you're digging what we're doing here on the Campfire Guitar Star YouTube channel, definitely leave a thumbs up and subscribe. That really helps us, and you know, helps get this video into the eyes and ears of other beginner guitar players out there. So if you think this video deserves it, definitely leave a thumbs up and a comment below, and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to get notified for our weekly lessons. And speaking about more beginner guitar lessons and getting connected, I actually have an entire free guitar system called 5-Minute Guitar, okay? And you can find the information to register for just the video course, and that's totally free and on the house. You'll find that in the description below, in the comments below, okay? That's over at campfireguitarstar.com/start here, and that will get you access to the guitar system. I'll email you the login details, and you can follow our step-by-step proven guitar system that's been really effective for thousands of guitarists all over the world. Okay, I used to sell this program for $100, and this book is $40, but I've recently made the whole system for free, and you can get access to that. And so make sure to check that out. And as soon as you register for the free course, you get an opportunity to just pay for the shipping of this book. The book is actually totally free, and we'll ship this book right to your door. Okay, and it's a 160-page book and over 4 hours of step-by-step beginner content. So if you like this lesson, if you kind of like the approach, then just imagine what's in the membership area with and getting access to this book. Okay, so definitely check that out. And it's really my goal that if you experience some results with our systems, with our programs, that you might invest in our one-on-one webcam coaching, which we do for students all over the world. Okay, so if you'd ever like the opportunity to sit down with a pro instructor, somebody that specializes in beginner and intermediate guitarist development, then definitely check those out. We do one-on-one webcam coaching. Okay, we also have a blues course, an acoustic course, a 1960s rock guitar song collection course, a lead guitar course, okay? So those are all programs that hopefully with our YouTube lessons, getting the book, getting our system, getting connected on email, you'll be like, damn, dude, these Campfire Guitar Star guys are awesome. And so if that's the case, then maybe if you're looking for that next level in your guitar playing, you might invest in some of our premium level courses and our premium level coaching. So thank you so much for tuning into this lesson. Do drop me that comment. Let me know all those answers to my questions. And until the next lesson, keep on ripping it up.